What's going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with my Browns-Steelers Week 17 Monday Night Football recap. As the Browns lose to the Pittsburgh Steelers in what many assume to be Big Ben's final home game, not only as a Pittsburgh Steeler, but as a professional football player. Yeah, how about that? After 18 years, it sounds like Big Ben is going to call it quits after this year. But knowing us, he's going to be like, ha, psych, I'm not going nowhere. I like tormenting the Browns too much. But yeah, Browns lose 26-14. And there's not really much to say about the Browns in this game. The offense looked half dead the entire game. I mean, there was occasions where it looked like they had a pulse. But then immediately after, they would go back to being dead pretty much. And for some reason, Kevin Stefanski had the bold strategy of not running Nick Chubb against what many say is the worst run defense in the NFL. Dang. For a guy who loves to run the ball. I mean, he used Dearness Johnson way too much in this game. If that was Kareem Hunt, would he have done the same with Kareem? Probably. But I mean, Kareem is just a whole other animal compared to Dearness. But still, why are you not running Nick Chubb more? I mean, the dude only had 12 carries tonight. "12 carries, 58 yards against what many believe is the worst rush defense in the NFL. Kevin Stefanski is so unserious this year. Like, I don't know what got into him. Last year, the dude would have ran the ball up and down on the Steelers defense. Like, what the heck happened? And then, to nobody's surprise, Baker had a horrendous game. 16 of 38, 185 yards, 2 tutties, 2 picks, and he got sacked 9 times tonight. Yep. And if you want to know who got those sacks, 4 from TJ Watt, 2 from Alex Highsmith, 1 from Cam Hayward. You had 1 from Derek Tuska, 1 from Henry Mondo, and that's it. So essentially, the Steelers did to us what we did to the Bears week 3. We absolutely tormented the Bears, and they abused us. Like, Hudson had no chance half the time. Like, I don't get it. You know, you're trying to help your quarterback out, and it's like Kevin is putting him in the most horrendous situation ever. Kevin, what got into you? Like, where's the real Kevin? Is this an imposter? Like, did this Kevin Stefanski lock the other one in a closet somewhere? Did he put him in the basement again? Like, damn, like last year, Kevin was running the ball like crazy. And then all of a sudden, this year, he's like, I'm going to throw it more. I don't know. I just don't know. Now, as for the Browns on defense, we did get a couple sacks on Big Ben, both from Jadeveon Clowney. I believe he has 7 sacks on the year now. So, for anyone who is out there calling him a bum, a scrub, saying that he ain't worth that money, I think he is, actually. I mean, this is the most sacks he's had since 2018. And wouldn't you know, he had a full training camp. He was looking like a monster, this season. And honestly, I would love to see him come back next year. See if he can back it up, And, but, I mean, Big Ben, 24 of 46, 123 yards, 2.7 average, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 2 sacks. You mean to tell me We lost to Big Ben, who threw it 46 times for only 123 yards. That's a lot of dinking and dunking. He very rarely threw it deep. I mean, my goodness. My goodness, man. On the ground, Najee Harris went off, 28 carries, 188 yards and a touchdown. Benny Snell had 1 carry for 2 yards. Derek Watt 1 for 1. Big Ben had 1 for -1. Through the air, I will say our secondary did a pretty good job. Of course, Greedy Williams did go down with a shoulder injury. I don't think he returned to the game. But Greg freaking Newsome, dude, putting the clamps on people. Did he allow a completion? I think he did. Maybe like 1 or 2, but very rarely did anyone get a completion on him. He was covering his receivers like a blanket. Man, if Denzel Ward can stay healthy with this guy, that's a nasty 1-2 punch at corner. And all we need is Troy Hill to get back, and there's your top 3 corners right there. Of course, we're missing John Johnson and Ronnie Harrison. But Delpit didn't look too bad. Of course, he did have a pretty scary injury, but he came back in. I think he banged knees with A.J. Green, who, by the way, got an interception. Love to see it. But that was really the highlight for the secondary. That was the only pick we got. Oh, man, this was an ugly, ugly game for us. Ray McLeod had 4 receptions, 35 yards. Deontay Johnson, 8 for 31. Freiermuth, 5 for 22. Johnson, by the way, scored on a very close-range touchdown. Chase Claypool, 3 for 17. I mean, they didn't really do anything crazy. It's just, we just did not do anything. Like, I said during the stream, like, we were derping. Or, no, both teams were derping, but we just derped harder. It was like a derp contest, and we were pretty much dead on offense. Defense tried their hardest to keep us in the game. You know, up until that final touchdown, we allowed, 3 straight field goals? But the offense was, like I said, dead. I don't know what the heck to do, you know? I know injuries haven't really helped matters, but, yeah. Like, this season's cooked. This team is cooked. There's going to be a lot of changes in the offseason. Coaching-wise, I don't know. I know our OC was talking to, ironically enough, the University of Pittsburgh about their offensive coordinator spot. So it'll be interesting to see if he goes there. And if he does, who are we going to look at to be the OC? Of course, we all know whoever becomes the OC ain't going to be calling plays, so it doesn't really matter. Because we all know Kevin would never give up play calling duty. You know what really gets me about Kevin? You could do something stupid, alright? Something completely just, like, horrendous. Like, you could, it'd be like 2nd and 2, and you jump off, you false start, or you do something stupid that costs your team a big play. They show Stefanski, and he's over like, I'm not pissed at all. Some coaches would be like screaming and yelling, but this guy's over here like, like, dude, he's way too calm, cool, collected, bro. I know inside that head of his, he's probably fuming mad, but on the outside, he's cool. He's probably thinking in his head, don't get pissed. Don't get pissed. They're always watching. Don't do it. Kids are watching. Don't get mad. Stay cool. Think of cookies and ice cream and... Yeah. Don't get mad. Like, well, sometimes it's good to show a little emotion, Fire up the team a little bit. For real. You know what's even crazier, too? Had the Niners lost that playoff game a couple years ago, most likely we would have had their defensive coordinator as our coach right now. Yeah. And we've seen what that dude's been doing. We're talking about a dude who, before every game, goes running up and down the stairs in the stands. But I like Kevin. He just needs to, work on his play calling because it's honestly ass right now. That's all. It's just like 5 pounds of ass right now. Like, it's trash. Like, what happened to Kevin? Where's the Kevin that we saw last year? I mean, how many games did we drop 40 points last year and win? Couple? I get it. Baker's hurt. But you got Nick Chubb. Did Kevin forget we had Nick Chubb? I think he did. I think he forgot we had Nick Chubb. I'm surprised no one took his play sheet and got a black Sharpie and just put "Run Nick Chubb" on it in big letters all over the entire play sheet. Because when you're facing the worst run defense in the NFL, the logical thing to do would be run the ball. Now, I mean, people are going to say, "Oh, that crazy dog. Nick Chubb wasn't getting that many big runs." Look how many times last year at the beginning of games and stuff, he would get like 1 or 2 yards a pop. And then at the end, when the opponent's on their hands and knees begging for mercy, this dude just breaks off a freaking 50-yard run out of nowhere. Although Nick Chubb did put someone into the ground with a nasty stiff arm right after. I think Najee Harris did it to MJ Stewart. So that was nice. But other than that, like, Kevin, bro, you got to fix your play calling. Bro, like, you were so run heavy last year. I get it, we were losing, but damn, like, you have Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb could bust off a 70-yard run at any moment. And it's not like we have Trent Richardson or Isaiah Crowell back there. We're talking about Nick Chubb. God, he's like freaking Hugh Jackson. Remember what he did with Nick Chubb? God, dude never wanted to play him. Kept playing Carlos Hyde. It got to the point where John Dorsey had to legit trade Hyde to force Hugh to play Chubb. Oh my God, bro. Like, our offense was half dead. Defense actually had a pulse. That was nice to see. Joe Woods, you're not getting slander. It's all going towards the offense. I guess that's the way it's going to be now. The slander has shifted. Joe Woods doesn't even deserve slander because the defense is holding its own. They're keeping us in games for the most part. I mean, we should have beaten the Packers last week. We should have beaten the Raiders. Although that was because, our defense was essentially a shell of what it was because nobody was there, because they were all sick. But still, they did what they could. They could only do so much. It was to the point where, the only way we were going to win this game was if the defense forced a turnover and they scored off of that turnover, like Myles Garrett did against the Ravens a couple weeks ago. That's the only way we're going to win games with this half-dead offense. This corpse of an offense. Honestly, if we do get rid of Baker, which is a possibility, I don't think they will. I think they'll give him 1 more year. But if they were to get rid of him, imagine we did something like the Rams did. Trade Baker for maybe Deshaun Watson. Maybe they pull off the shocker of the decade and trade for Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers. After all, if Alex Van Pelt stays, Rodgers loves AVP. He got pissed when AVP was let go in Green Bay. I don't think that's going to happen, if you ask me. But if it did, oh boy. Imagine being Steeler. Imagine that happens and Steeler fans are like, we got to deal with Aaron Rodgers twice a year now? Why? Or Russell Wilson. We got to deal with Russell Wilson twice a year? Oh, hell no. And if we get Deshaun Watson, I can just see it now. They're going to troll us so hard because we trolled them about Big Ben's rape thing. But the thing is, Deshaun Watson didn't, do what Ben did. Deshaun was essentially just horny while getting massages. Come on. But still, you can't do that, Deshaun. And to think, if it wasn't for the allegations, Deshaun would have been traded by now, and who knows where he would be playing. But if he's cleared of all wrongdoing, and if if Baker's pretty much out, I wouldn't mind Deshaun. Got a big arm. I don't know how he would do in this environment in Cleveland. With the weather. I know that was one thing that people always got on him about his arm, but he has Nick Chubb. He has decent. If we go out and get good receivers, I was going to say Michael Gallup, but the dude freaking wrecked his ACL, so I don't know if that's going to happen. But go and get Garrett Wilson. Maybe you double down and you get another receiver like a David Bell in the draft too. Yeah, that'd be nice. Oh yeah, we'll see what happens with Landry too, but it's going to be very interesting to see what this team does in the offseason. It is. Because I know Andrew Berry and the company are going to have a lot of tough decisions to make. One of the easiest decisions this offseason should be getting rid of Austin Hooper. Because that dude either catches the ball and immediately falls down, or he drops like an easy catch. He's done that how many times this year? I've honestly lost count. I think he even was bobbling a ball that was picked off late in this game. That resulted in a touchdown for the Steelers a few plays later, I think. Oh, no, that was the kneel down. That's right. That was the kneel downs. That's right. Yeah, Hooper was being generous. I'll let Ben get a couple more snaps out there. I think we only signed Hooper because we thought Njoku was leaving, but now that Njoku is most likely not leaving, send Hooper on the next train out because we don't need him. I'm perfectly fine with rolling with Njoku and Bryant. And if you go after another tight end, maybe you go after one in the draft. Because we know Stefanski loves drafting tight ends. Oh, man, dude. This is going to be a weird offseason. And for those wondering, Kevin Stefanski is probably not getting fired. Unless something comes out about him being racist or something. Nah, he's not getting fired. You don't fire a coach after an 11-5 season, making the playoffs for the first time in friggin' damn near 20 years. But his seat's going to start getting a little hot. Not scorching hot. It's going to start getting a little hot. He's going to start feeling a little heat on his butt. But if this continues into next year, oh boy, especially if they keep Baker. If they keep Baker, give him one more year, and he does this again, bye-bye. Bye-bye. He going. Because remember, Stefanski didn't draft him. People actually say that Stefanski is doing this on purpose. Wouldn't surprise me at this rate. But yeah, Browns lose 26-14 in what many assume was Big Ben's final home game as a Steeler and a professional football player. It'll be really interesting to see what these two teams do at quarterback next season. Will Baker still be here? Who knows? Another thing, imagine how awkward it would be for Progressive Insurance if he does leave. I could just see it now. They're going to film a commercial of him moving out of First Energy Stadium. Moving boxes and everything. Come on, it writes itself. Then they're going to have the new quarterback showing up, being like, Baker be like, who are you? He'll be like, I'm the new quarterback. And then it's like Deshaun or something. They'll be like, oh, you're living here now? Oh, have fun. I could just see that, but who knows? I honestly think Baker's going to be here one more year. They're going to give him one final chance because, to this argument, he was hurt all year pretty much. Didn't really get a fair chance because the injuries really hampered his ability. But he's still out here acting like a bozo, though. The injuries should not affect your decision-making. Look how many times this dude threw it into coverage. And, of course, his offensive line, we really let him down tonight. But, yeah, get a better receiving core. Learn how to run Nick Chubb more, and don't be a bozo. There you go, Kevin. That's your 3 keys for next year. Yeah, because Nick Chubb ain't getting any younger, and there's really no reason to conserve him, bro. Empty the tank. Bro. Oh, I'm going to conserve him for the Pro Bowl. No. The only explanation is he's hurt. or you're just saving them for next year. But, okay. Alright, that's an interesting strategy. But with that being said, guys, I'm going to head on out and hope you all have a great rest of your night. And I'll see you all tomorrow for Cavs and Grizzlies. So until then, I'm Crazy Dog. Let's go Browns. And I'm out.